to state the obvious, generally speaking, having a bad president is bad for a country, right? I mean, you don't wish that on any country anywhere. Most particularly, you don't wish it on a country that you love. Having somebody at the top of a political pyramid who is corrupt, who is incompetent, who seeks to stay in power even when he loses elections, so he can build monuments to himself and basically loot the place. I mean, that's just not good. You wouldn't wish that on any country. You certainly would not wish it on your own. That said, what we are learning right now, what we are living through right now, is the fact that when you have a bad president, turns out he's also bad at pursuing the things that he wants for himself. And, you know, if you're up against someone with evil intent, the best you can hope for is that their intent will change. But if you can't get that, the next best thing you can hope for is that there'll be an incompetent buffoon who fails at everything he tries. And in the case of Donald Trump, what we are experiencing right now is his compounding failures, his blustering incompetence, and his illiteracy kind of paying off for us as a country. In his failure and incompetence, he is right now lessening his own power, his own sway, even over his own party, and therefore he is lessening his ability to effectuate more harm to our country. And so the huge prison camps he tried to build for himself will have to be sold back at a loss or given away. And his alligator Alcatraz has been emptied, and now it will be boarded up or bulldozed. And his subpoenas and indictments targeting his critics and his opponents are being thrown out. As his failures and his incompetence not only, fail to serve, but actively mess with even his own allies in Congress, miracle of all miracles, now we've got Congress suddenly awake, saving that deep sea ocean monitoring system and passing aid to Ukraine and, even passing union rights protections and telling him, no, you can't have your stupid ballroom. And I know it's not to say he's not doing incredible harm. Having a bad president is bad. I mean, here's the aerial view of the damage he's done, not just to the White House, right? But to the whole area around the White House. The bulldozing he did for the stupid ballroom, the whole disaster that he has made there. He really has turned the reflecting pool into a disgusting chemistry experiment that now maybe kills ducks. At least 3 dead as of tonight, with a local animal rescue group saying they're going to basically conduct autopsies on 2 of the dead ducks, and they hope to get the results in the next few days. Meanwhile, Trump's having his federal agents arrest anyone who touches the reflecting pool so he can try to blame other people for how much he's messed it up. And we really are going to have a 4th of July celebration of the nation's 250th anniversary that's just going to be Donald Trump holding a rally for himself in Washington. And he really did just lose a war. I mean, headline tonight in the Wall Street Journal, U.S. allows Iran to sell oil in dollars for first time in decades. Yeah, we have to, because they beat us in a war, and so now we have to pay them to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Iran won a war against the United States. They retain their missile and drone systems and their nuclear program. They keep their radical theocratic regime in place. They may even get to charge fees for the first time for anybody transiting the Strait of Hormuz. And as of today, they get to start trading oil in dollars for the first time in decades because they won and Trump lost. And so Trump has to pay them. And he's now been forced to release them from sanctions. And so they're released from sanctions for the first time in decades. I mean, before Donald Trump, the United States used to at least be seen as the military power that ensured freedom of navigation all over the world, right? In the seas and oceans of the world. Now, Iran, this backwater supposed regional power, has proven that we can't do even that, even as it cost us all our missiles and interceptors to prove that we couldn't do it. So our deterrence factor from having the largest and most expensive military in the world, that's kind of kaput. At least we have no allies left in the world, thanks also to Donald Trump. I mean, having a bad president is bad. We will talk tonight on this show about him bringing more bizarre and inflated criminal charges against people protesting against him. We're going to talk in just a moment about the Washington Post's new reporting that Trump, in his infinite wisdom, appears to have put a cult member in charge of the nation's entire intelligence apparatus. The sect she belongs to is described by people who've gotten out of it as a secretive, authoritarian religious cult. There's now evidence reported by the Washington Post that her cult leader apparently has been giving her very detailed, very, very specific commands on what exactly to say and what to do as a public official. And she's been doing it to the letter. I mean, none of this is good. None of this is good. But Trump's failure is now obvious, inarguable, and consequential enough. And his behavior is bizarre and indefensible enough that his own power is in freefall. His perceived strength and therefore his political sway is at a low ebb. I mean, in the last few days of reporting, we've learned that he's reportedly been seen supergluing gold gewgaws to the walls of the Oval Office, personally manning the superglue tube. He also couldn't manage hooking the simple clasp on a Medal of Honor, so he yanked and fiddled and tied the thing on to the man's neck like a shoelace with a bow. This happened at an actual Medal of Honor ceremony. It really happened. Live and in person. I mean, he really has done this to the reflecting pool on the National Mall. And people have responded by declaring that they're Team Algae. And they're rooting for the green goo to win, even if it means Trump loses. Elected Republicans really have no way to explain away his disastrous loss to Iran. And so they're calling it things like, quote, the worst foreign policy blunder in decades, and saying things like, I think the president is receiving some very poor advice. But the Chicago protesters he tried to prosecute not only got all the charges against them dropped, now the Trump administration is going to have to pay all their legal bills too. And now in some of the Trumpiest places in the country, like California's Shasta County, Trump supporters are being voted out of the county government in recalls and primaries and general elections, one right after the other. And in Iowa, Trump's gubernatorial candidate lost in the Republican primary. And in Georgia, Trump's gubernatorial candidate lost in the Republican primary. And in Oklahoma, Trump's gubernatorial candidate couldn't get it done and has to go to a runoff. Tonight, the A1 headline in the Washington Post is this: Democratic turnout is up, even in Republican districts. Quote, more voters are casting ballots for Democrats compared with the numbers in previous midterms, fueling the party's hope for big wins in November. Right now, the opposition to President Donald Trump is ascendant, and Trump is flailing in ways that are obvious to everyone. He's a laughingstock. And his policies are failing and being abandoned, and his supporters are fleeing. And did I mention that the opposition to him is ascendant? Yes, the night is still coming, and it's still dark. And we'll talk about a lot of that tonight here on this show. But right now, just look around. Be aware of where you are. These dark nights are short, and the days are endlessly long right now. Don't waste them. This is the time.